Hi, Nicci here with some more Aliner Makeover and repairs. Today is just kind of an update. It's been a year so far since I've owned it, and it has been shoehorned into my garage. And I've been pretty much doing all the work on the weekends, so it's been quite the weekend project getting this rebuilt, so to speak. So pretty much everything on the inside is buttoned up, and all I really have left to do is make curtains and cushions and to install the solar control charger and run the wiring for it. I've actually opted to run it through the floor and be able to attach to my solar panels so that I can move them around wherever the sun is rather than being fixed to the roof and maybe having a little less flexible options, so I don't have to worry about where I park or how I park, and I can move the panels to where the sun is. So I'm going to kind of just give you an update of everything that's been done on the interior so far. So I did install piston lifts, and originally, I don't know if we can see under here, originally I had one set, and when I added extra support wood under the bed, it was actually just enough to be at a tipping point where these pistons weren't working. They wouldn't hold the bed up. So what I ended up doing was installing a second set. So now the bed has no problem staying in the up position so that I can access all of this storage down here. So now that the bed has its extra set of pistons, there's no worries in the bed staying in the up position so that I could access the storage or the battery or the water or the electrical system and breakers. So I've installed the cabinet, and this front door here at the very bottom was actually on the side. So I used some of my scrap A-liner facing and redid it on the cabinet so that the door is from the front. I didn't like accessing it from the side. I wasn't digging it, so I moved it and fixed it. So this is my custom countertop. It's just made from plywood with some stone paint on it because I liked the coloring and texture. And then I did 2 resin pours over the top of it to give it that shiny look, which also matches the custom countertop I did for kind of the kitchen area and the new dinette. So this A-liner actually had a fixed piece of wood in that area that acted as an extra sleeper. I liked the option and wanted the option of being able to have somewhere to sit, either do some work or be able to eat at a table. So I did make these custom benches, and as you can see here, I have 2 basically boat pedestals so that the table can collapse and become a sleeper. These benches open up very nicely, so that's the bench that I can access from the outside, and I do have 2 kind of like cabinet pistons to hold it up so that I don't have to hold it up with one hand and try to grab what I need with the other. So this basically will be the storage area for anything that I need for setup, tools, operational supplies. And then the second bench, which also has piston lifts, will be for all of my other storage. That's the beginning makings of my solar cables. Those are the cables that are actually run to the battery. So I will actually mount the control charger here on this little wall. So everything matches. The floor was replaced, and I have this beautiful vinyl plank tile. It's just the press and stick from Home Depot. And if you can see under here, that little pour right there is actually a desk grommet that closes. So I can actually run my solar cable through the floor that way and be able to close it up when it's not in use. So I now have a beautiful dinette and an extra sleeper if I need it. So the cushions will obviously fit and fill this whole space. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I actually have two kind of like power ports under the table, and I actually built this hole in the table so that cords could be run through it to access those ports. So the one on the left is actually a 120 volt, so when I'm plugged into shore power, I have two outlets, and underneath that are actually 4 USB ports. And the one on the right is a 12 volt only port that gives me a voltage meter and has 2 USB ports in it. So I've kind of taken care of power needs in this way. So this window also has another DIY window blind. Again, it's cordless and it's lightweight and it works and it's wonderful. And this is the other set of LED lights that I replaced, and obviously the kitchen area. So today's project is actually going to be to try to get it out of the garage and test all the systems. So until next time, thank you for watching.